Justice, Peace and Reconciliation Movement, as you can see in the name, we started more than 3 decades. And all that we have been doing is bringing Christians and Muslims together, including people of other faiths, African traditional religion and the rest of them, engaging them on development issues from a broad perspective of peace building and resolving if there are conflicts. Just trying to make sure that they cooperate on joint projects so that they can foster unity and at the same time develop their communities.
Amidst the beauty of diversity, Plateau State, like many regions across the globe, grapples with religious tension and conflicts that threaten to undermine social harmony and stability. The past decade has seen the state become a site of ethnic and religious violence in northern Nigeria. Historical grievances, social-economic disparities, and political marginalization within Plateau communities often exacerbate these tensions, creating barriers of mutual understanding and cooperation among religious communities.
Nigeria has had it very difficult to manage diversity, especially along religious and ethnic lines. And of course, Plateau State is not an exception to that. We have seen cases through which Plateau State has experienced violent conflicts since from 2001 to date. The conflict has different dimensions and shapes. However, in most cases, these conflicts are being looked at from the religious angle. And the reason is being simple. Religion has been a very simple tool for mobilization based because of the sentiment it holds and because of the value it holds in the community.
Religious perceptions, especially around either the mischief of the utilization of religion or the lack of knowledge of religion, has been the cause of conflicts in the Plateau and middle belt part of the country. So where you get to see a farmer-herder conflict is being tagged from a religious angle. So purely an act of escalating the issue.
Yes, in Jos it had been so for a very long time. But for now that we see a segregated pattern of living in communities, we are saying no, we don't want that. We sincerely do not want that.
Hardly will you see both Muslims and Christians coming together to implement a specific project.
If I cook on Christmas Day, you take to Muslim house, some will just throw it.
Lokacin da aka yi kirasi, kai da ke wani unguwa da yake majority mu nan Muslim ne, za ka iya zuwa unguwa jara ba, su kuma majority su Christian.
Most of the times za ka samu idan aka ce rikici ya tashi, mutane da yawa suna zama victims, especially masu wucewa.
But on or before now, we are staying together in harmony. But as the crisis erupted in 2001, it separated the two communities together.
Justice, Peace and Reconciliation Movement, JPRM, a grassroots organization dedicated to promoting freedom of religion or belief, FORB, and fostering peace, tolerance and reconciliation within Plateau communities, is one of the organizations amongst the consortium of other NGOs promoting freedom of religion or belief.
Our mission specifically is to ensure that there is peace, there is justice, and there is reconciliation among all the warring members of the communities in which we work.
The Joint Initiative for Strategic Religious Action JISRA is an international interreligious partnership that is committed to fostering peace and just societies, where all individuals enjoy the fundamental human right of freedom of religion and belief.
JISRA It's a 5-year program that is being run in several countries of the world. And it involves over 50 organizations coming together to work to do the JISRA program. And these organizations are run by consortium partners named Tier Fund, that is Mensi and Messi, Faith to Action, and Search for Common Ground. And even while they do the freedom of religion belief in the world, there is also an international partner. So NTRP supports them, that is for traditional practitioners, to see how they are going to carry out their work too as well. So in Nigeria itself, it's done by 3 consortium partners and 7 local partners, that is Nigerian partners. The 3 consortium partners are international organizations. JISRA started as from the power of voices, which there was consultations that was done, that was organized by the Dutch government, that's the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs from the Dutch. So there were consultations that were done with various organizations in Nigeria.
Now we are like giving the push to local partners. We're providing capacity support in terms of building their capacity to provide and adequately manage activities that are being planned on a yearly basis. So for us, coming down to the community, and actually it's impressive to see that the funding, the support, the support we provided to partners in terms of providing quality, in terms of activity implementation, it's impressive to see that partners are abiding, and this has also brought down a trickle effect in the successes that are being managed for the project.
It's designed in such a way that every group in the community should not be left behind.
We have dialogue sessions, intra-religious dialogue sessions, where the community members bring out those extremist harmful norms in the community, and then they discuss activities which they will do to address those norms in the communities. Then we also have the same trainings in the inter-religious pathway. We train them both on freedom of religion and belief, early warning and early response. We will also have trainings on conflict resolution. Then we also have dialogue sessions at the inter-religious pathway, where they also discuss the issues in their communities and how they intend to address them.
There's so much work to be done. But I think JISRA is a pilot to show that interfaith harmony can be promoted and can be achieved, even though we have peculiar contexts. But I think other peace building actors, other institutions and the government and security actors can pick this model and replicate it across. And I think JISRA will be happy to render some consultations and some technical advisory to these various practitioners.
Being part of the consortium of non-governmental organizations under the Joint Initiative for Strategic Religious Action JISRA, JPRM has been able to leverage on its experiences working in communities to implement strategic programs and actions that have helped in the promotion of religious harmony in some of these communities.
Yanzu haka idan an samu damuwa an kawo fada, madadin namiji ya je knocking a gidan mace, to ba shi yake zuwa ba, mu ne ake tura mu. In na Muslim ne za a tura ni, za a ce in je gidan wanci, an samu so problem, ana son ganin ta a fada, zan je. In ita ne ma haka.
After this Salah that happens, we'll be able to invite our other religious to eat together and to celebrate Salah, which before I have never heard of that experience. But this is the first time we'll be able to do it.
Okay, one major step down we've had in our community is the aspect of drug abuse.
Amma zuwan JISRA nan da ta wayar mana da kai muka fahimci juna, sai muka fara wato kowa ka bashi darajarsa. Wato in kai ma Kirista ne, in kai ma Musulmi ne, a'a dukan ku ɗaya ne, sai dai kawai kowa akwai nashi addini, amma dukan ku mutane. To don haka ne dole ne kuma mu mutunta juna. Mutunta juna nan shi kawo mana wannan ci gaba. Ba dan muna mutunta juna ba za mu yi nasarar wannan abu. To don haka ne ɗaya daga cikin abubuwan da JISRA ta karantar da mu gaskiya shine zaman lafiya.
We have a community of drug addicts in our community. Nobody will say, this one is a Christian, this one is a Muslim. I don't have a business to correct him. Collectively, we come together, go into the jungle because they are our friends. They are our brothers. They are our sisters. Collectively, as both Christians and Muslims, we go into those places to resolve it.
Since I'm a retired teacher, we have teachers among us. Let us continue with adult education. So they supported us, they bring chairs for us. Then we started. Now we are in adult education program. So JISRA has helped us a lot.
If any issue, if it is something to do with any issue of rape, sometimes I invite my fellow colleague, that is Aisha in Angwan Sabon Lai, because their own issue of rape is getting higher. Before it was higher, but now with the help of JISRA, seriously, I have not had even another issue of raping again.
One example ma na kwanan nan yanzu akwai neighbor mu anan Sabon Lai, dan uwan mu musulmi ne wanda ya rasu yau bai wuce kwana 10 ba. Dukan sun yi kungiya da maza da mata sun shigo da kafafun sun shiga suna yawo, duka sun gama duk abin da za su yi, sun gaishe mu kuma mun ji daɗi, mun muna har mun raka su, kowa ya tafi gidan shi, babu wani abu da ya faru. Wanda da babu wannan, ba wanda yake shigowa cikin angon Sabon Layi da sunan ya zo yi wani gaisuwa ko da yana da wani dan uwa da su ko a waya ko a wani wuri daban.
JISRA stimulates positive forces within and between religious communities for more peaceful and inclusive societies, and JPRM has been able to manage this and stimulate positive change of perception and attitude.
We train them on issues of peace building. We train them on issues. We also have what we call scriptural reasoning, where we have to bring the Christians and Muslims together so that they are not ignorant of one another's religion. They should be able to know this is what the Bible is saying about a particular topic, and this is what the Quran is also saying about a particular topic. Like when we bring an issues of love, for example, what does the Bible say about love? What does the Quran say about love? What does the Bible say about forgiveness? And what does the Bible say or the Quran say about forgiveness? And so when you bring these people together, especially also using the religious actors or religious leaders, we bring from both Christians and Muslims, they pick such important topics as it affects the communities or the society. The sanctity of life is also one of the most important topics we also use.
Addressing these harmful norms and narratives within the religious communities, stimulating cooperation between religions and communities, and also showing that different religious traditions can come together in a common vision for a better and a fairer society highlights the efforts of this initiative.
We have reached a stage now that people begin to understand that religion should not bring a schism or division among us. So people begin to understand, and the leaders too. With this faith-based organization, most of the angels are beginning to talk to the leaders, and they step down to various local, local government, and to the nooks and crannies. They are now beginning to preach about peaceful coexistence and harmony among our people. So you can see the impact so far. They've done a great deal. That's why I was saying, if I remember of recent, I've never seen the Muslim women, the Form 1, coming to this church and having a function. I was impressed. So there's a great impact so far they've done, and they're still doing it.
It's quite an important factor for people to understand that we are created differently. Now, even in you as a human, when you look at some organs of your body, they're not equal. They don't even look alike. That is to tell you there is wisdom in that creation. And to large extent, someone, you may even be speaking the same language, but in belief you differ. And you have someone that you don't share the same color, and at the same time you don't share the same belief. That is the wisdom by God Almighty. That's why we continue to preach and sensitize and create awareness to people. We should understand that God in His infinite mercy created us differently in order for us to appreciate that God is supreme.
And so also, that peaceful coexistence does not stop only in the mosque or in their dealings with co-Muslim friends, but it cuts across everybody that they come in contact with. So basically, for the last 5 to 6 weeks that we had such engagements, these are the kind of things that we always tell the youths to live in peace, to embrace their religion, to understand the religion better, because in that way, it will be easier for them to practice it with even the non-Muslims.
Making Christians and Muslims understand their role in every situation is very important, because you can engage people, and if they don't understand what role they are supposed to play, they may be wasting their time. But if they understand, if for example I'm participating in a project and I know what role I'm supposed to play, and I know how many people I will be able to convince to understand that yes, if we engage in this project, we will succeed. If we do like this, we may fail. Then that is a very big achievement.
JPRM pays special attention to increasing the role of women and youth in setting the visions and solutions for advancing FORB and promoting youth and women participation in decision-making for us.
In Angwenjara and Sabonlaye, these communities are Christian-dominated community. Sabonlaye is a Muslim-dominated community. But now we have the traditional leader has included women in his traditional council. He has been giving them different titles, and then the women are interestingly advocating for more openings for women to participate in the traditional council.
Step down in our community, bringing the Muslim and the Christian together in a peace tournament, of which I've done in 16 communities in Jos North here.
The step down I carried out within the community, we did a lot of sensitization exercise in which give a light to the light of the day.
Even as pastors in my community, we have formed a fora we called, interdenominational faith gathering in my area in Angwanjarawa. With this interfaith, community meeting that we are meeting as pastors, a Catholic priest will come to evangelical, and a Catholic will give an evangelical, pastor his pulpit to preach on. Because this is the understanding we had from JPRM. There was a time in one of our meetings, we made them understand this Trinity, the Islam. Because, they say, how can God have a son? But now, in one of the meetings, we sat and, break it to the barest minimum to them to understand what Trinity stands for. It is not that God gave it back to someone or this. So they understood that. And those of us that were in JISRA project together, they understood that. And when they say Trinity, they understand what we are all about.
We have what we call joint projects for Christians and Muslims, where we allow them to decide on what they can do in order to promote, development in their various communities. We have also done a lot of skills empowerment for young people, because, part of the reasons why some young people indulge in some of these perpetrating of conflicts is because they are not given opportunities. They don't have anything doing. So
we have recorded a lot of changes in those communities, even through their behaviors toward each other, or some of the activities that the community members come out to do it together. Unlike before, you find out that every religion will just be on his own.
But promoting freedom of religion or belief is not without its challenges.
Even with the religious leaders, we have our flaws because we tend to just stay in just our own closet to give that what we think we know only to the members, which is not right.
I mean, just because they are idle, they have nothing to do, they feel, okay, the world is coming to an end in their own side. So, and as such, they engage in that particular aspect. So that has been a major topic of discussion in our community.
Through collaborative efforts and community engagement, JPRM is working to create a space where all voices are heard and respected.
Most importantly, they must learn how to respect. As I said, not tolerate. They must learn how to respect people's religion. Try and understand the modus operandi of each faith, how they operate and why they are operating. Because you cannot have what is called this a superiority complex, that oh, my religion is more, and you look down on others. No, it doesn't work that way.
Because freedom of religious belief is key. People need to understand that everyone believes in the religion he or she believes in.
For us, freedom of religion and belief is what, as far as I'm concerned, is practical. We have people that are Christians, we have people that are Muslims, we have people that practice traditional beliefs, we have and all other kinds of religions that people practice. And government is not saying no to that so long as within, it does not infringe on your rights and does not infringe on the right of the other person. You see, what Nigerians say that where your right ends go, the other person's right begins. So we should always take note of that.
For us at the Peace Building Agency, we also feel there's a huge need to support this agenda here on the plateau based on the background that we have already established.
I think it's a great way that even the government itself can push forward and ensure we all live peacefully, because that's what Nigeria needs at this time in the process of insecurity, banditry, kidnapping, and where we are right now. I think JISRA is what we need.
So for JPRM, across many other partners that we have across the JISRA project, we will continue to provide hand-holding support since they are present and domiciled within the project location. So in terms of providing funding, when we see opportunities for calls to get more fundings to channel into the already existing platforms, and then seeing if we can link them up to existing opportunities. So we have diverse projects in Plateau and Kaduna State as well. So we would also see opportunities where there's an interlinkage for project sustainability, and then seeing how we can pave way for policy change and domestication of some of those laws that promote FOB.
We should understand that peace is very, very important. Peace is very, very essential for every community to develop or to move forward. So we will call on every member of project communities. Well, let me say I will call on all Nigerians to respect the issue of peace and be able to encourage everybody to participate. So that is a very big message for all of us. That peace is very important, so let's engage ourselves in issues that will bring about peace.
Justice, Peace and Reconciliation Movement, JPRM, provides a space for rural community members to discuss issues such as economic development, social justice, peace promotion, public and community health matters, education, Christian-Muslim relations, and community conflict management strategies. From grassroots initiative to policy advocacy, JPRM is paving the way for a more inclusive and tolerant societies. The journey towards freedom of religion or belief in Plateau communities began begins with efforts like these. Justice, Peace and Reconciliation Movement, together with other organizations under the Joint Initiative for Strategic Religious Action JISRA, are working to amplify the voices of faith and building a future where all are free to live in harmony and worship in peace.
Let me on this note thank the donors, Meseme Messin. In the Netherlands, we call them MM because of just to cut their name short, and then the CAFOD, Nigeria, and other implementing partners, the Tier Fund and Search for Common Ground.